What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're starting the video a little bit different. We're going to pick up a vehicle and it's going to be excellent, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. So it does have some decent front end damage. It doesn't look like the frame is kinked, it just looks like it's pushed up a little bit and needs to be pulled downwards. The subframe is brought bad, I did know that from the beginning. All the cooling system has to be replaced, pretty much front end parts. I thought this headlight was damaged, but it isn't, and that's good because that's very expensive. I ordered the washer reservoir already, little things. I ordered the subframe. So we're gonna get this loaded on that dolly and head back home. Alright guys, the vehicle is all loaded up. We're gonna start heading back home, and when we get home I'm gonna talk to you about all the damage I've seen on this vehicle. It's a little bit more than I expected, but it's the way it goes. You can never tell what's gonna happen. We're gonna get it home and tear it open. Alright guys, as you can see, I've picked up a whole bunch of parts. I have the subframe in here. I have all the airbags, well almost all. I still need the driver wheel airbag. And in the vehicle, I picked up a whole bunch of parts. So as you can see, we are home. The vehicle is in the garage. It's currently 11:26. I'm about to go get me some sleep. I'll meet you guys back tomorrow morning. Alright, I'm gonna grab the booster box and get this going. Alright, now she has power. That is excellent. I'm gonna open these doors and see what the damage is on the inside. Alright, so going in from the passenger side, you can see the roof airbag is blown over here, and same as on the driver's side, the roof airbag is blown, the wheel airbag is blown, and the knee airbag is blown too. Furthermore, the seat belt is locked up. This usually happens when there's an accident. It's only in Chevy that if there is no passenger, the passenger seat belt still locks up. I'm not sure why GM does that. It's a pain, but they're the only people that do that. Ford, whatever, they don't do that. The driver's seat belt is locked up too, and some pretty decent damage. Luckily, the dash airbag is not blown, obviously, because there was no passenger in here, so that's good. Guys, so over in the front of the vehicle where most of this damage happened, I'm gonna run you through some of the damages I have seen. I'm sure there's some little things in there. Initially, when I bought this vehicle, I thought the hood was damaged. It isn't, so that's good because this is a pain to find. I also thought the headlight was damaged. It is not, so that's quite a bit of savings right there. And over from the top of the engine, I can see the intake pipe that connects to the intercooler down there. It's broken here. That's an easy fix or easy buy. I'm not really concerned about that. Going lower to the front of the vehicle, as you can see, this is where most of the impacts happen. The subframe over there is damaged. I did pick up a new one like I showed earlier, so that's not really a concern. The frame rail was just barely missed, so that's, to my knowledge right now, has no damage. All the cooling system will be replaced. I'm not messing around with that. So all that was going to be replaced. I already have all the parts for that, so that's good. And then if you move on to this side, you can see the windshield washer reservoir. This is where the windshield fluid sits. That's damaged too. I did pick up another one already, so that's good. But there is something that takes the cake here. There is something I was not expecting, and that really came as a shock to me. So, like I said before, it's just the way it goes when you're rebuilding a vehicle. You buy a vehicle from auction, you can never tell what the damage is going to be like, especially buying sight unseen, which is kind of the way I buy most of my vehicles, because I buy from out of province. So I'm not going to go out there, look at it, and come back and bid and go pick it up. It's just, you know, really worth it. So, long story short, I'm going to show you exactly what the damage is, and we're going to go from there. Alright guys, so prepare yourself because we're about to get all nice and personal with this vehicle. We're gonna see what's going on underneath. So, get the light in here. See if we can do a good job. Alright, so this is the front of the vehicle. Obviously, like I said, all the cooling system will be replaced. That is the subframe. And if we go further in, over here, that's your engine. Obviously, you can see the oil filter, the oil pan over there. On the right side, that's the transmission. And you see all this oil that's collecting over here. That's the bad news, guys. So, further in, if you look right up in there, you will see that the subframe is pretty much in the transmission case. So, due to the impact from the accident, the subframe is submerged, or it's sandwiched itself into the transmission case, and there's a big old hole in that transmission. So now we have to look for, or attempt to find, a used transmission or a new transmission case and fix that before we can do anything really. So I was definitely not expecting to see that damage. I have worked on a vehicle with subframe or undercarriage damage before, and it was not this severe. And if we come out over here, we can see where the lower frame, subframe mount, completely ripped from the frame rail. The subframe is literally sitting probably about 5-6 inches lower than the other one over there. Alright, so like I said, up top is looking pretty good except for this. The turbo is okay because it sits right up here, so that's good. It's not the craziest damage. I have worked on vehicles with way more damage than this, and they're back on the road. They passed all inspections. They're back to the standard spec they were when they came out from the factory, or maybe even better. Alright, so moving on to the side of the vehicle, it does have a couple dings here that I did not see in the picture, so that was unfortunate, but that can be fixed. And over at the back, the bumper is cracked. I believe this was probably done when the vehicle was loaded, because these are a forklift, because this was not in the picture too. But that can definitely be fixed. I'm not worried about that. But guys, check out these tail lights. I really like how simple it is, and it's a sportsback. The trunk is huge. Huge trunk out here. Happy about that. So very good looking vehicle overall. Like I said, I like the way the lights are. The third brake light out there is nice and sleek. And you open the trunk by pushing on that button. So I think that's quite nifty. I like that. So going over to the driver's side of this vehicle, where all the good stuff are. So as you can see, it only has 43,000 kilometers, so that's very good. And this needs to be cleaned up, but I like the screen. All of this needs to be cleaned up. Electronic parking brake, I don't really like that, but it is what it is. This is the preferred model, I think, so it doesn't have all the nice fancy features, but it does have wireless charging. Alrighty, well gloved up. Let's get to cleaning, boys and girls. Guys, as you can see, all the airbags are cut out, all the deployed airbags are cut out, and we have room to work in this vehicle now if we want to. And you can properly see the inside of the vehicle, so that is always the goal. You want to just try to get as much room for yourself to work in. Going to the back seats, these are all the parts, like I mentioned before. So I'm going to unload everything, put it over there, and talk to you about what we have right now and what we're still looking to get. So let's go. So far, these are the parts that I've picked up. All right, so this is a condenser bracket. We have the intercooler over here. Actually, this is actually very interesting. This is the first time I've seen a condenser near a bracket in any vehicle I've worked on. So I'm intrigued to see how that's going to go on the vehicle, because I've never seen it. So we have the cooling assemblies. We have the fan and the radiator, and then over here we have the condenser. So these are all OEM pads from a vehicle with only 8,000 kilometers. So I got a pretty wicked deal on all of this. I have the subframe over here, all from the same vehicle. So I'm very happy about that. And moving on, I picked up a fender liner, I picked up the windshield washer reservoir, and I picked up the driver's side fog light. So obviously, the driver's side is where most of the impact happened on this vehicle, so I know I needed that. So I got that. This came in the vehicle, so this is the original parts of the vehicle. I only pretty much need it just for fog light, because this is damaged, this is damaged, and probably the signal, and that's pretty much all I need from these. Everything else is pretty much garbage. Over in here, I picked up all the airbags for this vehicle except the driver wheel airbag. I'm still not yet able to find that, so hopefully I find that soon. I have both roof airbags, passenger side seat belts, and the knee airbag. So I have everything I pretty much need. I still need a couple more parts, obviously. The frame rail might need a little bit of pieces here and there. I need the driver wheel airbag, like I said before. Front bumper, all those little upper grille, lower grille kind of bits. And maybe some little things here and there. But I have quite a bit of parts already, and I'm happy about that. Going forward, we're just going to go into the vehicle, try to vacuum it all out, get it nice and clean, because it is pretty filthy right now. And then we can possibly go on to installing these airbags and the seat belts in the vehicle. Alright guys, and just like that, we have this side of the vehicle completely cleaned out. We're gonna go onto the other side and clean it. Alright guys, as you can see, this turned out amazing. I was really concerned that this was not gonna come out or it was gonna look just bad. I'm short of words. I'm happy with the way it turned out. No concerns there. It looks excellent compared to what it looked like before. I'm very happy that it came out clean. Everything's been cleaned out except the driver's side, so that's okay. We're gonna go into a box of goodies over here and start installing the new airbag system. So I'm gonna probably start with the driver's seat belt and the passenger seat belt, then both roof airbags, and knock out the knee airbag glass. Maybe not, it doesn't matter, but everything's gonna get installed today. So as you can see, this says R over here, so this is for the right side. That would be the passenger side, and that would be the passenger seat belts right there. And that's the pretensioner. This is the knee airbag, like I said before. And then we have the driver's side roof airbag and the driver's side seat belt. So we're gonna get right into it. We'll go ahead and remove the negative battery cable so we can throw on those airbags safely. It's always important, guys. Anytime you're working with any airbag system, you want to make sure the batteries are disconnected. Now that that's done, let's go inside. So over here, we're gonna start by popping out the trim panels so we can get into this place and replace that seat belt. So let's do it. So usually when the airbag deploys, this locks up. You're not able to pull it. For some reason, this is still working. It doesn't mean that it's good or you can reuse it. And since I have the replacement piece, I'm for sure going to be throwing it in. And there she is. So I'm gonna bring this out there and show you exactly what the difference is between a blown one and one that's good. Now this is the pretensioner. This is the mechanism that blows and like locks you in place when you crash. This is blown. That's why you can see it's shortened. Over on the good piece, you can see it still has its complete length, and this is shorter. So that's how you know it's bad. So this is bad and this is good. So we're gonna throw on the new one in the vehicle right now. Bottom part is fully installed. We're gonna fix this all up quick and get right back to the video. Alright, and just like that, the seat belt is installed on the lower part, and while I have this all removed, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the roof airbag over here. Only makes sense. So let's get right back into it. this is the deployed airbag. This is what it looks like. Obviously, we had to cut some of it out to be able to work in the vehicle. That is what the new one looks like. And this is what's left of the old one. So now we're gonna throw on the new one in the vehicle. Let's get to it. Alright guys, and just like that we have the complete airbag system installed. So now we're gonna move on to closing it all up, putting all the plastic, the trims, everything all up, and then move on to the other side. Alright, so everything's coming along pretty good. I just need to connect the battery one more time so I can move this chair forward and upright so I can connect that seat belt and then finish up the back pieces over there. So I'm gonna go right to it. Alright guys, and just like that, the driver's side is completely done. Everything is set up, the roof airbag, the seat belt, fully done. Just so you guys can you see the difference? The driver's seat belt and the passenger seat belt. Do you see how much shorter it is compared to that one? That's because that's blown, so we're going to be replacing this right now. Alright, since I already kind of did an overview of what this takes, it's going to be the exact same thing for that side. So I'm just going to put this on a time lapse, get this done as quickly as possible so this video is not hella long. So stay tuned and watch me do this real quick, like magic. Guys, now I have the old one out. This is the new one, the replacement one. As you can see, it has the tags on it. I'm gonna get this installed right over here and get to removing the old airbag. Alright guys, so now that we have the seatbelt partially installed, we're gonna go on to removing the stock, the old airbag system for the roof and installing the new one. so that took way longer than expected, but I'm glad to be finally done. We're almost done. I have the roof airbag installed on both sides. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. I'm going to button it all up and close up with the seat belts. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're gonna get this vehicle ready to go to the frame machine. So first we're gonna start by removing all the fender liners, which is the black plastic thing that goes in the wheel well, whatever. We're gonna remove that on both sides, and then we're gonna move on to the back and remove the rear bumper since it has some damage on it. We're gonna try to fix that at home while the vehicle's at the frame machine. There's no point sending it out there. Guys, as you can see right now, we have the fender liner out, or the wheel liner, and it's looking good over here. There was no damage, the impact was over here, so everything is looking like it should. They usually want you to take this out just so they can make sure that there's no kink in the frame rail, and as you can see, this is exactly the way it should be. So now we're going to move on to the driver's side and remove the fender liner, or what's left of it, and see what it looks like over there. On the driver's side, we're going to remove the wheels and do the same thing. Remove the fender liner and move on to the back. Alright guys, as you can see, I have the tires and the wheel liner off, and on this side everything back here looks good. There's no kink in the frame, so that's good. But if you move forward to the front of the vehicle, the subframe is completely mangled up. It's destroyed beyond recognition. And over there, you can see where the transmission took the impact. That's destroyed as well. So I'm still on the hunt for a transmission. No luck yet, but I'm sure I'll get one sooner than later. So since we already have the driver's side wheel and wheel liner off, I'm going to go ahead and remove this washer reservoir because it's damaged. There's no need to have it on there, so I can get a better idea of what's going on over there. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, now we have the old water windshield washer reservoir out. This is the new used one I picked up. As you can see, it has the inlet tube up top and it has the connectors. Obviously this is missing on this, obviously it got ripped up with the accident. And now I have the clip and the wiring harness to splice it into here. Okay guys, so now that the washer reservoir is out, you can see how the subframe completely took most of its impacts. Yanked it all in, ripped it from the actual frame rail, from the spot welds over there all around. So, like I said, the frame rail is good. This little piece, the attachment piece, spread have to be replaced, obviously. And it's kinked over here, as you can see. There's some decent damage, but definitely fixable. Alright guys, so over on the rear side, we're going to remove this rear bumper. This has a crack over here. So while the vehicle's at the frame machine, we're going to get to repairing that rear bumper. Probably getting some paint down before the vehicle gets back. Alright guys, if you want to remove the rear bumper on your Buick Regal or Opel Insignia, I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but that's what I think it is. You have to remove the rear tire first. All 5 lug nuts have to come off. And then you can see the screws over here to remove the wheel liner in there. So all that has to come out. And then there's one 7mm bolt up here. So you need to get in through here, and then you remove that, and then you can just pop the clips out over here. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it on the other side. But to begin with, you want to put the floor jack in the middle, right on the subframe, on the rear K-frame, just like that. If you don't have a floor jack and you're using the regular scissor jack, you just do it on this side over here. And then you can throw in some jack stands if you have that or not, and then get to removing the bumper. So I'm going to go to the other side and show you exactly how to remove the rear bumper on this vehicle. So after you've had the vehicle on the jack or off the ground, if you have a lift, whatever you're working with, you want to proceed to remove the lug nuts. I'm using a 3/4 socket. I think that's about 18mm. And I'm going to get this out. And when you remove the rear tire, you want to get in here and remove these 4 bolts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one actually. So when you remove all 5 of them, this wheel liner is going to be loose, and then you can get up in here and remove the other 7mm bolt that secures the rear bumper in right over here. So I'm going to do just that, and then we can pop out the whole rear bumper and move on to removing the tail lights. Alright guys, I'm really quick. I'm going to show you how to remove the tail light on this vehicle, so that way you can remove the rear bumper. The tail light does have to come out in order to remove the rear bumper. So I'm going to remove the one over there. I'm going to show you how I do it and remove this one over here. In order to remove the tail light, you need to go in you need to remove the carpeting on the vehicle. So you just pry it open like this, and then you see the two black pin like things over there. You just need to unscrew it. So that comes out like this, and it's out. This is what it looks like. And then for the other side, for the second one, just like that. And both of them are over here, and then you just need to wiggle it out at this point. So grab it and just wiggle it. And just like that, tail light is out. And now we can remove the rear bumper. So in order to remove the rear bumper, we need to go underneath the vehicle, and right in the middle there's 3 bolts. So that's one, and that's the second one. I guess there are 2 bolts, actually 2 bolts, and then it just makes it easier so you can remove this rear bumper. And to remove the rear bumper, you just need to depress the clips that were underneath the tail light, and it just pops out. Just like that. In order to disconnect the wiring harness and the rear bumper, as you can see, there's quite a few of them. This is for the rear camera, and it slides right in here. Right in here. You need to slide out the red pin, and then you push up right on the bottom, and then you push up right on the bottom to remove this wiring harness. And then moving over to remove the license plate light, that's the same thing. Push on the red pin over here to slide it backwards, and then depress the black, pin over here to pull it out, and that way the rear bumper is fully ready to come out. If you've done all that, this rear bumper would be ready to come out, and just like this. Voila, she's ready to go. So at this point, we're just going to throw on the tail lights back on, and then get this vehicle ready to be taken to the frame shop.
Ten years later.
Vehicle got picked up this morning. We're gonna get right to it. It's gonna be inspected. We're gonna see what the damage is and see what exactly needs to be done. Alright guys, we're back in the garage. We took this vehicle to get inspected. That's been done.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when you got hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, but I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. System I wanna save. I've been doing shit in the house. The driveway is a nice range, 'cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just stay right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow.
Alright, so everything is turning good. It's coming out good. I just started removing the exhaust manifold, or wherever the exhaust itself. So I just removed the nut over there, and that is it. And the other one came out with a stud. That's okay. We can put it back in, and it's braced over here, and on the other side too. There are two of them right there. And then we have to remove this and this to drop the brace. And then over there in the far corner, come on, focus. Right there, we need to remove those two. And then we can remove this front exhaust. I can't get the camera down there to be able to show you guys the way I would like to, but that's why I'm just giving you an idea of what's going to happen. I'm going to pull out the exhaust and then show you to you guys.
Still go, even when there's no hope, you can still go. Go, 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 go,
Guys, so everything I've taken off so far is pretty self-explanatory. The whole cooling system, the headlights, everything is all out. Now we're gonna start getting into the intricate things, the hidden stuff, you know, and get this baby ready to come out. So I'm gonna start from the front to the sides and then to the back. Let's get to it. So right now I was gonna drain the transmission fluid. I took out the drain bolt, as you can see, and absolutely nothing came out. That's no good. I'm like shocked. Nothing. So yeah, this transmission is toast. next we're going to be disconnecting the fuel line, and this is it right here. And to do that, you need a tool like this or this. It's only like $3-4 at the dollar store, at the auto parts store, and then you can use it. You slide it in there and push it up, and then it pops out, and that's what I'm going to do. Alright, you guys, so right now I'm about ready to start lowering this engine, seeing what needs to be disconnected and what needs to be played with. I have this old seat belt set up here. The chain from the horse is going to go right on it, and I'm going to lower the subframe and see exactly what needs to be disconnected. I'm sure there's something else, so let's get to it. Alright guys, just by seeing how much room I have to work with, I'm going to remove the hood right now, just to make this a whole lot easier.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't.
Alright guys, as you can see, we have a 1 manpower vehicle right now. I'm just kidding. The engine is out. It took way longer than expected. I'm glad it's finally done. The damage is quite visible right now, which is good. But right now it's currently 11:45 p.m. I'm about to call it a night, and I'll meet you guys back tomorrow. What's up, guys? It's a brand new day today, and as you can see, the engine is still sitting right over here. This is exactly how it came out from the vehicle. So what I'm going to be doing next is swapping the subframe. Obviously that's damaged, swapping it for the replacement one over there, and then we're going to swap all the control arm, the steering rack, all that good stuff to that one, install it on this vehicle, and get it ready to be sent to the frame machine. Alright guys, you just saw me separate the old subframe from the engine assembly. Now it's time to swap everything on here, so this new one, and get it mounted on the vehicle. So let's get right back to it, because we're in a very tight schedule like I said before. Alright guys, and just like that, we have all the pieces we need from this subframe and ready to put it on this other subframe. So we're going to put this to the side, get this over here, and start installing all of this. Alright guys, a couple things I did off camera. I just taped up the connectors for the power steering, just because it's not going to be connected to the engine, and I'm not wanting the elements to get in there and damage it. And over on the vehicle, I just cleaned up all the hoses, the wiring, so they have proper access to work in here. So it's all cleaned up, it looks good, they have all the space they need. I'm going to bring that subframe over there and install it now, and probably the rebar on the hood is going to go on, and we're going to be good to go. Alright guys, now I have everything loosely on, just fastened so it can secure the subframe. I'm gonna go around and tighten everything once and for all and head on to the suspension side of it. Alright guys, we're making lots of progress. I have the subframe in the vehicle. I have most of the suspension loosely connected. Oh, it's hot out today guys. It's almost 32 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna go inside, have a cold ice cream, have a cold drink of water, come out here, completely get this back together and wait for the tow truck. Alright guys, that was a good break. Now let's get back to working on this vehicle. So little things I couldn't show just because it's going to be tedious. I connected the steering shafts back on the inside because this had to be disconnected to drop that subframe. I did all that. I buttoned it all up, connected the suspension, the wheels are back on. I'm just going to put the reinforcement bar on and the hood and we're good to go. Alright guys, as you can see, the vehicle is fully put back together. The tow truck is here. We're ready to get this vehicle loaded up and taken straight to the frame shop. So we're going to do that and I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what's going to happen. Alrighty guys, so the dealer called, some of the parts are in, so we're gonna go pick it up on the bike. There's no need to use the gas guzzler if it can fit in the backpack. So we're gonna take the bike, head over to the dealership real quick, and then come back home. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so these are the parts I picked up from the dealers today. This is the lower frame rail piece that the subframe goes into. We have the complete bumper wiring harness over here. If you recall, I'm going to put a picture up here somewhere. The vehicle, when we picked it up, had no bumper. It had like a quarter of the bumper left. So we need this harness to complete the install of the new bumper when I get one. This is another frame piece, and this one too, and this one. So pretty much all the frame pieces we need is here right now. I believe so. I'm sure there's always going to be little things that needs to be picked up again. If that happens, that's no problem. That can always be done. But in this case, we do have quite a bit of parts right now. And we're still waiting on some more parts because of the back orders and the whole COVID thing, I guess, is still affecting supply chain. So when that comes in, we can get some things going in. Alright guys, as you can see, we have the vehicle loaded on the dolly. Let's get it home and talk about the repairs that were done. As you can see, we have the vehicle back in the garage. We definitely need to wash all of this, throw some paint over here where the slight repair was done. I'm sure if you watched the previous video, you probably remember exactly the damage that this had. Over here, the frame is okay, there was nothing wrong with it, but the subframe mount that connects to the frame was completely destroyed, so that had to get replaced. Now that that's done, we just need to sand it, throw some paint. That over there is rust protecting, so it's not going to rust. That's usually how the repair works. So we just need to sand it, throw some paint on. Obviously from the factory, as you can see, there's really no paint to begin with, but we're going to make it look at least better than that before we can throw in the engine and transmission assembly in here. So we have a lot of work to do. Let's get right to it. So right now I have the vehicle lifted up and it's supported on jack stands, all four corners. It makes it much easier to work in this area when I start putting that engine assembly back in here. So what I'm going to do right now is remove the hood. I recall last time I had difficulties removing that engine because of the hood. Plus there's just more lights if the hood is away. So I'm going to remove that, set that aside, and then we have as much room to get some work done in this area. Alright guys, we just picked up the replacement transmission for this bike for the Buick Regal. I realized I said bikes, I've been working on way too many bikes and that's just why. So let's get this transmission home and start working on the Buick Regal. Super happy that worked out well. It was super sketchy getting this out of the vehicle just by myself. I'm alone here except me and little guy anyway, so I had to figure something out, and this is what I came with. So super happy that worked out, but let's get to work and start putting this thing back together. Alright guys, now the both units are set out over here. I'm going to start disassembling this so I can make the new transmission to the original engine assembly. And as you can see, down is sitting over there. So let's get to work. We have a whole lot of work ahead of us, and should be fun. Let's do it. Alright guys, as you can see, that's been split. That's the original transmission that's damaged over there. We have the flywheel and the clutch assembly all over there. So we're going to remove the piece that came with this replacement one and made it to the original one because that looks to be in better condition than this one. Put it all back together and then it's ready to go back in the vehicle. Alright guys, so much progress has been made so far. The new or the replacement transmission is now fully mated to the engine assembly, so that's good. I have the original one that was damaged over here. So right now it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired as hell. All my friends who helped me, big shout out to all of them, Timmy and Andre. Awesome guys. They helped me make this possible. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this by myself, really. So big shout out to my buddies over there. Really appreciate it. I'm going to close up shop for tonight and I'll catch you guys first thing tomorrow morning. What's up guys? It has been a few days since I completely tore all of this apart. Life just gets busy. But over here, I've pretty much moved all the miscellaneous parts from this one to this that usually doesn't come with a replacement transmission. Like, you know, the transmission cooler lines, the truck to pretty much everything, torque converter, everything has been moved. This is fully assembled right now. So the goal today is to get it mounted in the vehicle. I'm not sure if it's going to get started in this video, but I will try to get that done. But without much more talking, we have lots of work ahead of us. Let's get right down to it and get this vehicle back on its 4 legs again. I cracked my socket, guys. Always use the right socket, don't be like me. Alright, now I grab my proper impact socket. Alright now guys, at this point I'm having trouble fitting the engine assembly in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the wheel, remove the knuckle over there, so I can just swing the axle in and try to get this engine assembly in the vehicle. Okay guys, that was a battle getting this engine in the vehicle. Oh, I couldn't tell you how long that took me. But as you can see, the engine is in there. I just showed you the lower engine mount. That is lining up back there. Everything is looking really good. So now I have to pull out the engine mounts and set it all up and get this thing secured so I can start connecting hoses, electrical connectors, all that good stuff. So let's jump back into it. We're almost there, we're getting there, but we're still quite far from finish. Next, I'm gonna go underneath and install the subframe brace. There are 2 in the rear and 2 in the front. Let's get that knocked out and then we can continue buttoning things up in the front end. Next part that's gonna go on is gonna be the front cradle support. This is where all the cooling system pretty much sits on. So I'm gonna install this bad boy on the vehicle now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the front brace for the front cradle, just like I did in the rear for the subframe. Let's get to it. Wow, boys, look at this. Engine is in place. Nothing holding it, just by itself, and the engine mounts. That's super good progress. I still have to go underneath and secure one of the engine mounts that are down below there. And when that is done, come back up top and finish everything that needs to be connected. There's still lots of connections that needs to be made, hoses, electricals, all that stuff, like I said before. But this is really good progress, as you can see, guys. So without much more talking, let's get some more work done. Alright guys, quick update. As you can see, I installed the AC line over here, completely secured it on both sides. I connected it to the AC compressor down here, installed the charge air cooler or the intercooler pipe over here coming from the turbo. I also routed the harness on this side that goes to the horn and to the washer reservoir. That's all good. Up top here, what I'm going to start doing right now is trying to figure out all this wiring in this area because there's a lot of it. This side, there's not so much. It's pretty much just for the headlights, which I connected in here already, and some other miscellaneous parts. So, without much more talking, let's keep getting some work done here.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Alright, now I'm gonna install the transmission shifter cable.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear.
Alrighty guys, most of the electrical connectors over here are fully installed. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the new transmission fluid because obviously this was drained, so we're going to need to fill it with up to 10 liters of transmission oil. Let's do that and then we can move on to completely putting some more things back together here.
Sometimes it could be a little tough, I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me. But let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear. Sometimes it could be a little tough, I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me. But let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find.
Alright guys, right now I'm going to install the washer reservoir. This is the damaged one. As you can see, it's completely destroyed over here. I have a used replacement unit that I picked up. It's a good thing that it has the connectors because it's missing on the original one. So this is good. I'm just going to splice it into the original wiring harness and hook this puppy up. So let's do this real quick and we can keep putting some stuff back together. Alright guys, you've seen me connect everything, well almost everything on this Buick Regal. At this point, I believe we're super close. This vehicle is going to start, fingers crossed. Obviously, it's been so long since I took this apart. So at this point, just because of how long it's been since I took this apart, I'm pretty much just going with common sense and then figuring it out. Because I took pictures, but I was on my old phone that got erased, and don't ask me how, but I have nothing to tie back to how this came apart. So I'm just going with the groove pretty much. Right now, as you can see, almost everything, well, the critical things are all connected. The battery is right in here. I've hooked up all the ECU cables, positive, negative terminals, all that is good. So ideally, if I put this thing together, we should have power, it should start. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what's gonna happen. We're so close, but we're still so far. We have to set up the cooling system, throw it on this vehicle, get it running, make sure everything runs right, and we can take it for our first official test drive. Let's get to work. So as you can see, the engine is fully in place. I haven't really touched it since the last video. Over here is the cooling system. So this is the used cert I purchased. This is the original one. As you can see, it's completely tweaked over here, destroyed. That's the condenser brackets. That's the original piece over there too. This is the new replacements, used OEM pieces. So I'm just gonna wash it out because it's been sitting, there's lots of dust collected on them. So I'm gonna wash it, and that one, since they're the replacements, completely assemble it because it needs to go all together, and we can throw it in the vehicle. Alright, so on the right side of the vehicle, the axle nut is not going to go on because I cross-threaded the threads on the axle, so that's really bad, really poor, but I'm going to throw in a new axle. I already have one on order that's yet to come in. In the meantime, we're going to jump into the front end, completely tie everything back together, install the cooling system like I mentioned, and hopefully get this vehicle running. Okay guys, lots of good progress has been made, as you can see so far. The cooling system is fully installed. Everything is connected down there and up top. I have the support bar installed, the rad support, all of that is hooked up. I went ahead and cleaned up the top of this over here, installed the engine cover. That is good. The next step right now at this point is to put some coolant in this thing, bleed the system, make sure there's no bubbles or air in the system. And we're going to start this puppy up and see exactly if it's going to start up and how long she's going to run for. Alright guys, so right now we have coolant in the vehicle. You can probably hear the little pops in there. It's filling up, all the air bubbles are coming up right now, so that's good. There are no leaks underneath, there's just that from my spilling while putting the coolant in. So I think we're ready to start this. So right now I'm going to try to start the vehicle. I'm very certain it's going to start considering everything that I've done. But fingers crossed it does start. I don't want to deal with any headaches really. So let's pop you guys up on the tripod and see if we can get this puppy started up. Alrighty guys, now I'm going to connect the battery and we're going to try to start her up. That's good. We got power. Let's hop in and start this baby up. This is super amazing, guys. It's working, it's starting. There is no leaks underneath. This is super good news. Super excited about this. As you can see, I'm currently looking underneath. There's no leaks. Like I said before, that's just from feeling the coolant over there. I don't see anything leaking. The engine sounds amazing, very healthy. Coming up top, everything is still looking good. No smoke, so that's super good.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, we're out here. We're trying to get some parts for the Buick Regal. As you can see, parts nation, boys and girls. So right now we're looking for a couple things that the dealer is giving me crazy ETA to get them in, and I don't want to wait too much to get this sensor in. So my good buddies over here at Gill's Auto in Salford, Manitoba are hooking me up with some parts as usual. So I'm going to find the vehicle, I'm going to take some parts off it, and we're going to get back home and continue working on the Regal. Okay, guys, I just threw the hood back on the Regal, and right now it's not lined up, it's not fine-tuned right now, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do right now is gonna start installing the little pieces that needs to go up in the front end. For example, the front crash bar is currently not in there. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and install the hood airbags, which is kind of very interesting. It's the first time I've seen this on any vehicle. So on this vehicle, it has a safety feature. I'm gonna put up a video over here so you can see what I'm talking about. There are a hood airbag, I'm gonna call it, or struts that deploy when you get into an accident to save the pedestrian. If it's a pedestrian, the hood is gonna come up about 4 inches. It's supposed to be a safety feature that these guys have put into this vehicle. I don't know how well it works, but in order for this vehicle to pass inspection, we do need it back to OEM standards. So we're going to toss that in because I picked up a replacement, and we're going to throw on the wheel airbag because I also have that, and that's been deployed due to the accident, and try to throw as much parts on this vehicle. So without much more talking, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to get back to work and get this vehicle looking better than it currently is. Okay, guys, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to install the replacement axle I picked up. I didn't even look at this when I picked it up, but over here I'm going to show you exactly what's wrong with it. Alright, so as you can see, that's my original axle over there. That's damaged. That's the replacement one I picked up with the red markers on it. And over here, it's all destroyed, so I can't even thread the nuts on there, which is the same problem I had with the original one, plus the leaking. But it looks like this was hammered out really poorly, and threads are all bad, so I can't really throw this on. So I'm going to need to get another one. But that's okay, because we still have a lot of work to do on this vehicle, a lot of parts to go on, and that's what we're going to get right to now. Okay guys, so we had an issue with the axle I picked up. I didn't notice it until last minute, but that axle I picked up was damaged. All the threads were completely destroyed. There's no way I would have gotten a nut on that axle. So I went ahead and ordered an aftermarket unit, brand new. It's exactly what I should have done from the beginning, but obviously I didn't do that. So without much more talk, we're gonna go ahead, open this all back up again, throw in that brand new axle, put this baby back down, and we should be ready for our first official test drive. Let's get some work going. Alright, so quickly, we're right where we left off. I did forget to video a couple of things. Unfortunately, I got carried away working on this vehicle. The Buick, as you can see, is not in the garage. I did not film a first drive. I really didn't drive. I just put it in the yard, so it's nothing crazy. So I quickly ran to the dealership because some of the parts I ordered are now in. It is impossible to get parts for this vehicle. It's insane, but I have picked up one of the major parts that's needed to completely tie this vehicle back together, and that part is the front bumper. So I had to buy a GM original front bumper from the dealership because there's nothing aftermarket available for this vehicle, which is unfortunate because this was very, very pricey. But we do have the front bumper. Also, while I was out there, I also picked up the front crash absorber. So this goes right in front of the reinforcement bar. I needed that, so we have it right now, so it's very good. I also repainted the rear bumper because it had some damage to it. Did not turn out to be the greatest paint job, so I have that set outside right now. I'm going to repaint it to make it as good as possible considering what it looks like right now. So like I said, over here is the rear bumper that I painted last year. Some of you guys, the OGs, would probably remember me painting this bumper, but that's okay because I'm going to sand it all down. Like I said, some of the body work I did not turn out to be the greatest. I'm going to sand it all down and paint it one more time. As you can see, I just unboxed the brand new front bumper. This is an OEM bumper straight from GM. I'm just going to go ahead and test fit all the grills I have purchased to make sure everything fits before I start painting this. It would really suck if I paint it and then nothing fits. I've had to do that before and it was a very bad ordeal. So I'm going to test fit everything, make sure it fits, then we can start prepping this for paint. Okay guys, as you can see, I've quickly mocked all the parts up to this bumper and everything is fitting, everything is lining up, so that's a really good thing. Over here, the side bumper marker light, that's on. This fog light bezel is in. I do have the fog light and I am gonna need to trim this in and put it in because I could not find right bezel for the fog light, so this was the only option I could get. And another thing, the lower bumper, this is the Europe spec one. As you can see, the license plate is much bigger than another America plates. But again, I could not find properly priced United States or North America lower bumpers, so I went with this. The grille is from the GS model. This vehicle is not a GS Buick Regal, but we're just gonna roll with it because, like I said, there's almost no parts available for this unit. No, we're up badging, down badging, doing all sorts of things, but this is just to get this vehicle ready, because if I was waiting for the proper parts to come in, I would never know. I waited 8 months for just one piece to come in, so I'm not looking to wait any longer. And this part looks good to me, so I'm just gonna go with it. Alright guys, so right now I have the bumper in the make-do boot. I still need to wipe it down and throw some adhesion promoter. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is completely wipe down the bumper one more time, spray some adhesion promoter, and then we're going to throw paint right on that. There's no need to primer because it's all good. There's no damage to that bumper whatsoever. I painted this last year. If you guys are new to the channel, the video is going to be up here somewhere. I painted this last year. I just really didn't like the way it turned out. That's why I'm painting it again. And I'm gonna paint the front bumper next after this one. Over here, I just cleaned out the gun. The new paint is here. Very nice paint, lots of metallic. Alright guys, and we have the front bumper in the make-do boots. It's prepped, it's cleaned, it's sanded, all that good stuff. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and mix the primer sealer, spray that, then some base coat and some clear coat. It seems like it's easy, but it's a lot of work, but let's jump right to it.
Years later.
Alright guys, and just like that, the rear bumper that was painted is now in here. So what we're going to do right now is completely assemble it, because it has the lower piece, it has some lights that needs to go in it, all that good stuff, and then we can slap it back on the vehicle. Okay guys, and there you have it. Both bumpers have been painted and they're looking very, very good for a home paint job. So I'm gonna go ahead and completely assemble the front bumper with all the components that are required, and we can slap this on the vehicle. Damn, this bumper is looking sick. Look at this. A bunch of you guys might notice this, but the lower diffuser or the lower bumper, it's not supposed to be for the North America spec. This is for the EU spec, but it is one of the only lower bumper I could find. So it's on the plates you're gonna go on, and I'm not really worried about. But look at that grill, look at that paint job, looking spiffy. Really love it. But without much more talking, we still have a lot more parts to throw on this to complete this bumper assembly. Let's do it. Alright guys, the Buick Regal bumper has been completely painted and put together, as you see. Well, almost put together, as you can see. The one fog light is in over here. Over here, I'm going to need to throw in the one fog light, and both of them are still missing the fog light bezel. Unfortunately, I do not have the right one for that, and I tried to make just the fog light cover work, but that did not work out good. So I'm going to need to place an order for those parts, and when they come in, we can install them on the bumper. In the meantime, over in the front over here, I just need to install the rebar absorber or the reinforcement bar absorber, and then we can completely tie on this front end and install the front bumper on the vehicle. Alright guys, as you can see, we have the hood finally lined up. That took a minute to get that done. We have the front crash absorber on there. We got everything aligned up here. We're just ready to throw on the front bumper right now. But before we can throw on the front bumper, we gotta install the bumper wiring harness. So over here on the inside of the bumper, we have the harness that needs to be installed that connects right to the chassis of the vehicle. So on this bumper, there's the crash sensor, we got the fog lamps, and we got the side marker lamp. Big shout out to Auxhallo for sending me these LED headlight bulbs for the Buick Regal. I guarantee they're gonna work just perfect for this vehicle. So right now we have the last parts to complete this elaborate puzzle. We got the 2 fog lamp bezels and the top trim. Let's unbox this, set it up, and toss it on the vehicle. So today we picked out the last parts for the Buick Regal, and that's it over here. It's a top bumper support. So we're gonna toss that on the vehicle. It's gonna be the last piece of the puzzle to completely put this vehicle back together. Let's get right to it. Alright guys, as you can see, she looks like almost a brand new vehicle. There's just one more thing to go on, and that's the LED lights that Auxhallo sent us to toss on this vehicle. Without much more talking, let's take this up a notch. This looks fantastic. As you can see, it's clearly an upgrade from the old halogen that came on the 2020 vehicle. It's crazy that GM would send a 2020 vehicle with still regular halogen bulbs, but thanks to Auxhallo, they fixed this up for us and we're looking better and brighter than ever.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, it's time to have our first official test drive. Let's do it. Incredible windy out here. As you can tell, we got a storm coming in, but as you can see, the Buick Regal build is completely done. She looks fabulous. Everything is done. There's nothing left to be done on this vehicle. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Be sure to let me know what you think about the build so far and everything that's happened so far till this point. Like I said before, if you enjoy videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn, no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober.